In this video, I'm gonna show you how I do my vocals, how I make contrast between the chorus and the verse and the B part, and how I try to form my mood. So by adding dubs and adding choir voices. So I have recorded a ton of vocals, and I will just sit down and play around with it and try to give you an insight into how I do. And hopefully this will inspire you to do some vocals on your own. So the first thing is to figure out which range fits your voice and what you're doing and what you want to achieve. And it's so important that you try out a lot of different options so you can really feel what fits you the best, what makes you feel how you want to feel. So I have recorded my song in 6 different tonalities, and we're gonna listen to it, and then we're gonna talk about how it sounds and how it feels, and just to demonstrate how important this is. So the first is 4 seminotes below what I ended up on. So let's listen. Come on in my blanket, bring your flashlight. I would say that it feels a bit heavy. Make funny faces, maybe kiss. It becomes a bit lazy and a bit sad and not what I really want to go for, but I really figured this out when I went on. So let's go 2 seminotes up. Come under my blanket and bring your flashlight. I think this has a bit more power. Make funny faces, maybe kiss. And in general, my voice is more capable of doing different things in this tonality. So I think this just sounds more liberating, but there's nothing that is better than other. But let's move on. So 2 seminotes up again. And this was the key that I ended up using. But let's see. Come under my blanket and bring your flashlight. This seems more soft and make funny faces, maybe kiss. And I can hear that I need to use more of my voice to actually sing, and that just makes it, I think, a bit more alive. It's still a bit sad maybe, but I can also use my voice in many different ways in this tonality, and that's just something I felt when I sang it. But again, let's move on. Come under my blanket and bring a flashlight. This sounds more fresh, even more fresh. Make funny faces, and I can do my falsetto part in this. And when I recorded this, it actually came as a surprise to me, because I thought that this song needed to be a lower key. But I really think this key really fits my song. So I'm actually thinking of taking it 2 seminotes up. But I haven't decided yet, and I haven't tried with the whole song yet. But since I got surprised about how it worked out, I was gonna continue. So I took it 2 more steps up. So this is 4 seminotes up from the original. Come under my blanket and bring a flashlight. And this is also really good. Make funny faces, maybe and kiss. Much more fragile. I think what this shows is just that it's so important to play around and try out different options, because I thought that where I actually ended was so good, and then I tried to go 2 seminotes up and it became like something else that I actually also liked, and then 2 seminotes more up and it was like, oh, I couldn't imagine that it would sound better 2 seminotes up or 4. So it's all about trying it out to actually get to feel what you like. So of course I continued and 6 seminotes up. Come under my blanket and bring a flashlight. Make funny faces and maybe can kiss. This was a bit difficult for me to sing, but I think it was like, it was fragile, but it was also powerful. It was like, come on, please. So I need to go and listen to these examples, and I need to do it with the whole song to like really figure out how it works. But I just think that this example shows you how important it is to find a good key for you. So the next step is dubbing and octaving and adding choir and how many voices, and let's just play around with it. Let's add 2 dubs, so one on the right and one on the left. So let's start with just listening to the song without, and then I will just slowly fade in the dubs. Come under my blanket and bring your flashlight. So I will start to turn up the dubs. Make funny faces, maybe. I like to turn them up until I can hear them, and then turn them down a bit again. And in this way just give it some strength, but without like removing the focus from the lead. But we can saturate. So pretty. Let's try to listen from the beginning, but exaggerate it. So, come under my blanket. That becomes more of a choir. Not really a choir, but the feeling of multiple singers. Make funny faces, maybe. But when I take it down 8 dB, it's like subtle, but just emphasizes the vocal. I never came along like this before. We can try to add 3 more dubs. I just wanna feel you. So now we have the leads and 5 dubs, 2 in each side and 1 in the center. So pretty. That's from the beginning. Come under my blanket and bring your flashlight. I think it gets this church vibe. Just to show you the dub. So this is what I'm adding. So it's the exact same as I sang the lead.
I never came along like this before, but
-10 now with all 5.
I just wanna feel.
So now it just sounds bigger, but without losing the nearness. But of course, I'm losing some nearness, some close. It's just feels a bit more distant from me as a listener, but it adds some energy, adds some like, it becomes bigger. So it's always like you get some and you give some. So this was adding dubs, so the exact same as the original, just sang multiple times. And you can't just copy the same lead multiple times, that will just add some gain. But let's add an octave. So let's start with adding 2, 1 on each side.
Come under my blanket and bring.
I just think that it brings some, it makes it more fragile. And I really love it here.
Make funny faces.
Let's add some reverb.
Baby, and kiss. I never came along like this before, but I just wanna feel you.
And when I turn it up, it really adds like an effect.
I've never seen you.
I think it becomes like this, the lead becomes,
So pretty.
the lead becomes like this storyteller, and then the octave voices becomes like angels or something. But it adds some dimensions to it. But we can also try to add 4 octave voices and hear how that sounds.
Come under my blanket and bring your flashlight.
And I really think that it was nice with reverb on the octave voices. Not octaved, but the high-pitched voice.
Make funny faces.
Without the reverb. With.
And kiss. I never came
With the dubs.
along like this before, but I just wanna feel you. I've never seen you.
We can turn out the dubs.
So pretty.
And we're just creating moods and sounds, but let's try to add an octave below. So again, we will start with adding 2.
Come under my blanket and bring.
This was very low for me to sing. But let's add some reverb to it again.
Make funny faces. Maybe.
Let's add the 2 other. So now we have 4 octave down and dub voices.
I never came along like this before, but
Let's exaggerate it.
I just wanna feel you.
With the high-pitched voices.
I've never seen you so pretty.
Let's try to listen also with the dubs.
Come on in my blanket.
And turn down the lower octave.
Bring your flashlight. Make funny faces. Maybe and kiss. I never came along like this before, but I just wanna feel you.
And then
I never seen
only the
you.
lead. It's just like this huge difference. Nothing is better or worse, but it's just different feelings, moods. And I just think that this is a really good tool to make contrast and to add excitement. Make it so that you think it's as exciting as it can be for you. Okay, but what if you, like me, couldn't sing the lower octave? We can use like an octave machine. What's it called? I simply just copied some of my dubs, original dubs, and took them down an octave. And it sounds like this. And everything together.
Come on in my blanket and bring your flashlight.
It's a sound, and I like it.
Make funny faces.
So, me singing an octave down, and me octaving it an octave down. It's something else, but again, nothing beats the other. Both together sounds awesome, I think.
Make funny faces. Maybe and kiss.
I made a second voice, a third up, and it sounds like this. I will just mute everything else and play it.
Come on in my blanket and bring your flashlight.
And let's add some reverb.
Make funny faces. Maybe and kiss.
Let's add the rest of the voices.
Come on in my blanket.
I'll turn it up a bit.
Bring your flashlight.
Turn down the lower octaves.
Make funny faces. Maybe and kiss.
And let's try to take out the octave and the -12.
Come on in my blanket and bring your flashlight. Make funny faces. Maybe and kiss.
I made a video about how you can make these interval choirs, and I will link it up here. But then I also recorded the third an octave down, so it sounds like this.
Come on in my blanket and bring your flashlight.
So let's add the third an octave up.
Make funny faces.
sounds bigger and fuller. For me, it sounds almost better, but it isn't, because then when I mute all the tracks, it again just has something else, something that just sounds a bit more honest. But it's about what feeling do you want? And I think that just adding all of these and trying out for yourself, I think it's just good to play around with all of these different emotions and try them out and figure out if you like them in your current song. And I think there's only really one way to figure it out, and that's by trying, because you can imagine a lot. And I always thought that I could imagine how it sounded, and like, nah, I don't want this because I can imagine how it sounds. But almost always surprises me, so therefore it's just so important to try it out. And that's also why I chose this song, because this is a song that I'm working on because I want to release it. I was like, this song doesn't need choir, so it's a perfect song to do this with, because now I really get to like experiment and try, and I think this sounds amazing. Okay, but I also added the sixth, and it sounds like this, just the sixth and the lead.
Come on in the blanket and bring a flashlight. Make funny face.
And I think these two alone is also incredibly sounding.
Baby, and kiss.
Okay, but let's try out some different combinations.
Come on in the blanket and bring your flashlight. Make funny face.
So it's the third, and this third an octave down, and the sixth. Let's add the high pitched vocals.
Come on in the blanket and bring your flashlight.
And the dubs, I don't think they're gonna do much.
Make funny face.
They can emphasize the lead actually. So let's take the deep octaves.
Come on in the blanket and bring your flashlight.
Now let's let it play along, or yes.
Make funny faces.
And now it's only the octave up and down.
I never came along like this before.
And now it's just something completely else.
I just wanna feel you. I've never seen you so pretty.
And now let's listen to it only with the lead on.
Come on in the blanket and bring your flashlight. Make funny faces.
It's all about figuring out what fits the song. What do you think makes the song sound just like you want it to sound like? How you can make it so that it's the most exciting for you. If you want the audio file so you can sit down and play around with this yourself, then just write me in the comments and I will send it to you. But try to do this setup yourself. Just record a tons of different vocals. It's a good exercise, and it's just like learning how to do this. And then when you're actually doing a song, you want to try it out, it's just like, I did it once before, so now I can do it again easily. And when it's easy, then it's just more comfortable doing it. So sit down and do this yourself, or write to me and I will send you my files. If you like this video, then please hit the thumbs up button and consider to subscribe to my channel. It will truly make me happy. Enjoy.